So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in this world, and welcome to another album review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. And today, we're gonna talk about a soundtrack to the movie TRON Ares. And I'm talking about this soundtrack because this is a soundtrack that it's being marketed as a Nine Inch Nails album. So yes, I'm a huge fan of Nine Inch Nails since the 90s, since the first time I listened to the Downward Spiral, and then I went back, listened to Pretty Hate Machine, and their last like full length for me was Hesitation Marks in 2014, which was a great album. They did have Bad Witch in 2018, but that was more of like an EP. So, and then they had these instrumental albums like the Ghost series, which are, they're fun, but I want like a true, like a full length Nine Inch Nails album. So, is this a full Nine Inch Nails album? Like, yes and no, because this is 24 tracks, and out of those 24 tracks, there's four songs that have, lyrics and vocals, and 20 tracks that are more instrumental. So, yeah, it's a soundtrack, but by the end of this review, I will answer the question: does it sound like Nine Inch Nails? Because Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, the last 10 years, they've been more busy like doing soundtrack work. For example, I'm just gonna give a few examples. They've done first The Social Network, which was a great soundtrack. They also did The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo remake, and I didn't see that movie, so I don't know if I listened to that soundtrack. And Gone Girl, they did the soundtrack for that, but on all those soundtracks, they weren't marketed as Nine Inch Nails. It was marketed as Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. So when I saw the news that they were marketing this soundtrack as a Nine Inch Nails album, I was intrigued because I thought like, will it sound like Nine Inch Nails? So the only song that was available before this album release was the single As Alive as You Need Me to Be. And this song is an amazing track. You have those dance, electronic, industrial vibes that Nine Inch Nails is known for. Trent Reznor sounds great on vocals, and it has a great riff that look like very interesting. This riff comes back in a few of the instrumental tracks like Infiltrator and but most specifically Target Identified. That riff comes back, and I think they bring back that riff in a few of the instrumentals because let's be honest, it's the best riff and music of the whole album. There, I said it. As Alive as You Need Me to Be is an amazing Nine Inch Nails track. So the other three tracks that have vocals, they're quite interesting as well. So I'll talk about them before, but the rest of the album it starts with the In It, which is a great instrumental track to start the record. This record has a lot of themes, electronic, so it does feel like you are in the Tron world. I gotta say, I don't care about Tron. I'm not gonna see the movie, but let me tell you this: I'm so happy because in this movie, Jared Leto is in the movie. I'm so happy that they didn't ask 30 Seconds to Mars to do this soundtrack.
All of that chit chat's gonna get you hurt.
Oh my God.
Yes, thank you, Jared Leto, for not being involved in the music and letting Nine Inch Nails take it over because they do a good job. So let me talk about the other three tracks that have vocals in it. One and so first of all, the placing of these songs. As Alive as You Need Me to Be is track number 3. Then the next track with vocals is track number 7. I Know You Can Feel It. And this is like a longer track at 5 minutes. And I got a little bit of the fragile vibes from this track. It's slower, but the momentum keeps rising, and it reminded me of some songs from the Fragile. So it's a good track. Then you have Who Wants to Live Forever. This one's probably the slowest track that has vocals. There's like a synth, like piano going through it, and also there's some female vocals that go with Trent Reznor. And this is in the middle, and maybe this could be described maybe as a love song of some sort. The lyrics are interesting, and but yeah, it is like a slower, and it's in the middle of the record at track number 12. And after that, you get some really great instrumental stuff going on in the album. But the album closes with the track number 24, which is the other track that has vocals, Shadow Over Me. And Shadow Over Me has some great distorted vocals, and they sound very Daft Punk. I wonder if this was a nod to Daft Punk, who did the last soundtrack for the last Tron movie. It's like a soft nod to them. So I like this one. I think this the second favorite out of the four songs that have vocals in it. I like the way the song builds. Trent sounds awesome in it, and it does sound like very futuristic and very like obviously for the Tron movie. So how to rate this album? So if you're obviously if you went in this, I knew this was gonna be like a full Nine Inch Nails album because uh, when I first heard it, I saw the runtime of 1 hour and 7 minutes, and I thought there has to be a few tracks with vocals, and the other ones are gonna be instrumentals. If this would have been like over 2 hours, maybe I would have think like, yeah, this has a lot of vocals, but it's a sound. At the end of the day, this is a soundtrack to a movie, but Nine Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack. And to answer the question that I pondered at the beginning of the video, yes, it does sound like Nine Inch Nails, like pretty much like the electronics and everything. You know, it sounds like Nine Inch Nails, and it doesn't sound like they're. Even though it sounds like a score, it does sound like a Nine Inch Nails album. But to nitpick a little bit, the fan in me, I want a full length album, man. Like I don't know, it's been too long, Trent. Like I know a lot of people want like a full Nine Inch Nails album, like with the aggression and the industrialness. But this one, I think, as a if I'm going to rate it as a soundtrack, I think it's a great soundtrack. As a Nine Inch Nails album, yes, it's good, but obviously it's not going to go in my top five of Nine Inch Nails albums. So, but having said that, I think As Alive as You Need Me to Be is one of the best Nine Inch Nails songs in a long time that I listened to. I really love that track. It may pop up in my top 10 songs of the year at the end of the year. But yes, so Nine Inch Nails, the TRON Ares soundtrack is a solid soundtrack. I think if you like soundtracks, especially with a lot of synth in them, you will enjoy this. If you're looking for a like super Nine Inch Nails album, you will be disappointed. I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew, even though they were putting Nine Inch Nails, I knew that this was going to be more soundtrack than Nine Inch Nails. So, but again, it does sound like Nine Inch Nails. So I want to know from you, cultures, what do you think of the Nine Inch Nail Tron Ares soundtrack? Are you gonna watch the movie? Uh, I can live without watching the movie, and possibly, and this is a hot take, possibly the soundtrack will be better than the movie. So that's just my opinion. But like I said, thank God that 30 Seconds to Mars did not score this because that would have been god awful. So I want to know from you, cultures, what do you think of this soundtrack by Nine Inch Nails? Comment what are your favorite tracks. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like and do not forget to subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.